From the top.
From the top. That's how we win.
I'm ready.
All right, when you get your tray, the first thing you want to do is take this piece of dialysis tubing out of this water. And this water is there just to make it a little easier. And we're gonna want to tie off one of the ends here. So we're gonna fold this 2 times to make sure we have a nice seal. And then we're gonna use this dental floss we have here to tie off this end. Now, I found the easiest way to do this is with a partner. And you will have that at your lab groups. And that partner is gonna pinch just ever so slightly on each of these corners. And they're gonna hold it nice and tight while leaving lots of space for the person to tie. So if you'd be so kind. And then what I'm gonna do with my dental floss is I'm actually gonna tie it just right in the middle, because I find that a lot easier rather than fighting to get at the very top right away. And I'm gonna do this just once crossover. And this is the first step from tying your shoes, right?
Yeah.
Just that one over under. Then I'm gonna slide it up so that it kind of is all over where it was folded.
So you're putting that loop around the part that's folded right there.
And then nice and slowly, so you don't mess with your partner, you're gonna get it nice and tight, and it's gonna crimple up, and then they're gonna let go. And you're gonna have it just like this. Okay. Now, it's not done yet. Your partner's now gonna pinch the top of it with one hand, just like that. And they're gonna pinch where the string is, actually. So pinch up the whole thing, hold it nice and tight. And they'll have the whole thing. Now we're gonna do one more just the same way as we did the last time.
You know what I did with this too? I did 3 loops. I put it around a couple times, you know.
Oh, sure.
Just a bunch of times to sort of
Tying a fly.
Just keep looping it around there, looping it around a couple times, because that's going to make a slightly stronger knot. It's not going to come undone.
Flaws, not easy to handle. So what you do now at this point is you get as close as you can, and then you're going to kind of pull and slowly together. Your partner's going to let go while you pull on the dental floss, and it'll be nice and tight. Anything you want to do after that point is fine, but this should hold. I might do one more myself just to be triple sure, but now it shouldn't be too difficult and it won't fall apart on you.
Go ahead.
So after you've tied up this end, you're gonna want to fill up your dialysis tubing with some of the things we've set aside to represent food for McKenna, or in this case, our healthy person. Now, to find the opening on this end, sometimes not very easy. These things are really compact and it's hard to get an opening here. So we'll have water at that table. This is the water that your dialysis tubing came in. And if you add a little water and keep it wet, and then you kind of push on it like this, it should open up a little more easily. And I think this is the best way to get that
You sort of
open.
just move it between your fingers.
Yeah.
Like this, sort of rub it back and forth, and then the little, that piece will open up. Okay. And then now we're going to fill it. We're going to use the pipette to measure 5 milliliters of water. There's a line on the top of the stem. You don't want water in the bulb. You want to just pull water up into the stem. The stem is 1 milliliter. Keep water out of the bulb. So pull it up until it reaches the top of the stem. Mr. Hadeen will do this 5 times. He'll pull the liquid up to the top of the stem, not in the bulb, and he'll repeat that 5 times and gently squirt that water into the dialysis tubing, and he'll repeat that for each of the liquids. Mr. H and I aren't doing this step, but it's ideal if one person holds the tube and someone else fills it with the liquid. So be very careful at this step. So now we'll repeat the first step. We'll fold it over twice, and then we'll get a partner to hold it on the tippy top of that, and we'll loop the floss around, and we will tie it over the folded flap at the top. It takes a little work to do that. You might have to reposition your fingers, but the idea is you want to tie the knot over the folded flap if you can, and then they switch their hand position. They pinch it from the top. You repeat the knot, maybe this time do a couple of extra twists in there, and then do it one more for good measure on your own, and then you have a dialysis tube that's tied tightly at both ends, and you'll follow the rest of the instructions printed in the lab. Nice work.